if you don't ask, you don't know, you don't get.
Yep. Heard
Like
that.
what's the worst thing that they could say no? What's the worst thing that could happen? You try something and it's not for you. But until you actually do the thing or ask the question and take that extra step, you have no idea.
Hello and welcome to another episode of the Kyl Reber podcast. Just a disclaimer in case you are listening to this and wondering about the mistakes and all that sort of thing. We're very much a one and done mentality here. Editing is for the weak. We always are looking for people to interview and always looking for people who have a story who may be right under your nose or you would walk past every day and not realize that the story they have in their life is very much worth sharing. I will say that I've hit a milestone in this podcast. We have with us today the first person who has openly volunteered to be podcasted. I'm not sure if there's a method to the madness, but I'm sure in the next however long we will find out. Natasha French, thank you for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
Tash is in sunny, kind of freezing Melbourne at the moment.
Mhm.
I've told her Queensland weather is not much. We actually nearly hit single figures this morning, but apparently that's very much the norm in Victoria. So we're both in hoodies, we're both rugged up, and we're looking forward to a chat. So, for
100%.
those of us who are new to this series in podcasting, this is how we do this. We have a list of questions. They might get the questions much earlier. They might get them a day earlier. Depends on how organized I am and how organized they are. Tash has had hers for a while, so she's had time to mill over them. They are questions that no matter whether they are a seasoned podcaster, interviewee, or not, they probably have never had to really think about. And quite often, more than one question will stop them in their tracks and they'll have to really think about it, which is all part of it. But let's get started. Number one. Now, don't worry, Tash, it's never 8 minutes. I think
Yeah, this time limit is wild.
I think the record is an hour. Um, Birth to now in 8 minutes ish. Three, two, one, go.
Holy shit. All right. So I was born in New South Wales in Crow's Nest in 99.
Oh, no.
Um, so born in Crow's Nest. And I think we lived there for about 6 months, before we moved to New Jersey in the States.
Okay.
Yeah. So we moved over
Is it
there.
pronounced Joyzy?
Joyzy, New Jersey. Yeah, if you can talk at that age, I reckon. Um, I think we moved over there for mum and dad's work. They're working for the same company, in a flavor and fragrance company.
Hmm.
But we lived there for about, but I think maybe 2, 3 years.
So you don't remember much of it?
I have actually a lot more memories than I thought I would. So I remember hanging out with, we had like these childhood friends that mum had made through like playgroups and stuff. So I remember going over to a lot of their houses and just like playing in the street and a lot of the Halloween parades and stuff like that.
Hmm.
Probably not too early, probably I say too early, but that's probably when I was two, I could remember about like those kinds of memories, 2, 3.
Hmm.
Um, and then after that, I think we moved back to Australia around the end of 2002. Um, moved back because mum's dad, my oppa, was quite ill. He was going through different stages of cancer after being a smoker for so long. So I moved back closer to home to
Hmm.
be close to him and my Omi. And then dad from New Jersey moved to Singapore and my parents kind of separated then.
Yep.
So I think I was trying to work out a timeline because we kind of move all over the place.
Yeah.
Um, so I think from about 2004 to 2011, oh no, before that, um, 2003 to 2004, we kind of moved to the Southern Highlands in New South Wales.
Okay.
So that like kind of Bowral area, like Bundanoon and stuff like that.
Mm.
Beautiful area. I really loved it there. We ended up moving back to a similar area a couple of years later when I was in high school.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and then after that, moved to, I think, Northern Beaches area in New
Mm-hmm.
South Wales until about 2011. Um, During that time, mum had met my sister's dad, so my sister with my mum, her dad.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and they got together, got married, all of that. I schools is another fun moving one. I went to three schools during that time.
Mm-hmm.
So I had kindergarten at one, and then I went to there was an all-girls school that I went to from I think year one to year four.
Mm-hmm.
Um, that was okay. I wasn't my thing. Ended up not meeting a lot of nice girls and not really falling into the right kind of group.
Yep. Do you put that down to the demographic, or that was just the school culture, or
I feel like it might have been a bit of both. Like the demographic, it was quite a posh school. Um,
you didn't feel like you fit in?
yeah, I think it was very I don't know, it felt like you had just have to be a certain way or like look a certain way to fit in with
Mm-hmm.
everyone else. And if you were the slightest bit like weird, I guess,
Mm-hmm.
um, then it was very hard to find another person that was like that as well.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but that was all right. That was only 4 years. And then I think I had maybe one or two really good girlfriends there.
Okay.
After that, very fun. I went to a German international school.
A German international school. Because
Yes.
that's the first thing I would think to do. So how does that come to be?
My Omi and Opa are Austrian, so they wanted my sister and I to learn how to speak German.
Okay.
And as much as they tried to teach us at home, we'd pick up little bits here and there, um, but we wouldn't really practice or do it unless they were like prompting us or
Mm.
like forcing us at that age to learn it. And mum thought it was a really good idea to learn another language, especially one that's, I guess, in our family. So she enrolled me into this international school, and I went there from year four to year seven. At year seven, you can choose either the German speaking stream or the English speaking stream. But before then, all of the classes are taught in German.
Geez, sink or swim.
Yeah. So I had to pick it up so fast. I had like private lessons, all of that, all the textbooks in the library, everything was in German. Um, and it's not like they wouldn't speak English to you, but that wasn't like the main mode, I guess.
Mm.
Um, but because of that, I picked it up pretty quickly. Like if you're exposed to something enough, then you tend to kind of
Mm.
pick it up. And so I was reading a lot of the um, I think a lot of my first Harry Potter books I read were in German just because they were at the library.
Yeah, right.
Weird stuff like
Crazy.
that. Yeah,
You still can you still speak it now?
I can, not as fluently, um, but I continued it through high school. It was like a blood subject in GCE for me.
Because you could speak it already. It's like,
Yeah,
yeah, I'll just wing this.
yeah. So I was doing that via distance ed in high school. But yeah, I still kept it up and then would talk, speak with my Omi as well. Like when she was teaching me how to drive, whenever we'd get in the car, we'd make a rule to just speak German with each other.
Mm.
So we'd be able to keep that up. But over the years, it's just kind of faded.
Mm.
Um, I'd like to start learning again. I think Jackson and I have this conversation every year of like, yeah, we should learn together. Oh, maybe we should go to a school. Oh, but we don't really have the time, so maybe we should just do it online. And then I'll teach him for like a week, and we'll try practice talking to each other for like a week, and then we just forget about it.
Yeah. I I went through a period during lockdown where I downloaded, I think it was Babel, and I was trying to learn Spanish just
Babel's
for something to
good.
do. And yeah, my family got very upset with me because I was just trying to talk in Spanish and everyone wanted to just talk to me in English. So yeah, I think if you have somebody who's willing to interact with you and you're learning a language, it would be a lot better. Yeah, other than the rest of your family looking at you like you're an idiot when you're trying to talk in Spanish. What
100%.
let's so high school,
Yeah.
tell me.
So, um, started high school at the German school, did that, opted to do that in English. Shortly after that, I think it was 2012, we moved back to the Southern Highlands
Mm-hmm.
for a year. So I went and did year 8 at a school there. And it was probably one of my favorite schools that I went to. Really beautiful campus. It was actually on the Bradman Oval, Don Bradman's Oval, so
Mm-hmm.
in Bowral. I still have a lot of really good, like, best friends from that school who
Mm-hmm.
I regularly see, and either they'll come to Victoria or I'll go to New South Wales to catch up with.
Yeah.
And they're like good lifelong connections, which is really nice.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah. Um, but it was beautiful property as well. I just remember like absolutely loving the house that we were in. It was like this old defunct winery.
Mm-hmm.
So I had like massive paddocks to go and like run around in and go exploring in. And we'd take the dog out like every night to go for a walk around the property and go explore like the old cattle yards and everything. And
So this
it
is
was
all
just
with
awesome.
your mum.
This is all with my mum um, and my sister and my stepfather at the time.
So what's the age gap between you and your sister?
Between I've got three sisters.
Okay.
So between me and my sister with my mum, it is, I think, 6 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. And your father's still living overseas?
Yes. So he is still in Singapore at that time.
Mm-hmm.
So growing up, mum would always make sure to do like regular Skype calls,
Okay.
like weekly Skype calls. They always made sure that I had a good relationship with him and there was never any animosity, which is really good.
Yeah. So it was a partnership or as amicable as it could be.
I think so, yeah,
Mm.
absolutely. And then he would often come visit during school holidays. Um, but from the age of 10, I think that's when kids were allowed to fly as unaccompanied minors.
Okay.
So I'd go over by myself at 10 to go visit him in Singapore a couple times.
Yeah, right. Cool.
Yeah. So pretty cool as a kid. I look at that now and I go, shit, like I don't know how she felt okay doing that.
Yeah, look, I am. Yeah, I mean, look, probably a different culture time too, and there wouldn't have been, I would say, so much to be afraid of. But
Mm,
yeah, to put a 10-year-old on a plane now by themselves and fly unaccompanied,
crazy.
that's a big deal. That's a big deal.
Yeah, do it.
Hmm. So we've finished grade 8. What's happening now?
We moved to Victoria.
Oh,
Big move.
so the
Moved to
moving around
Victoria.
was a work-based thing with your mum, or
Yes, primarily work-based. Schools was, I think, a mix between like bullying and um, maybe financial, maybe work as
hmm.
well. Yeah.
You would have developed a real little process for changing schools, like a little system, like, wouldn't you?
Yeah, look, I It's really funny you say that because I don't actually remember a lot about the actual physical moving of schools or moving of houses. I
Hmm.
don't know if that's because I blocked it out, but like I I remember being the new kid and trying to find, okay, who do I sit with? Where do I go? Who do I ask questions? And the teachers would always they'd always set up that buddy system of here's
Hmm.
a friend, they'll show you around the school, ask some questions, that kind of a thing. But I think after a while it was just like, yep, I'm here. I've done this before. It's nothing new. Let's just go through the motions.
You seem to be that person that maybe is not afraid to make friends too. Like you're not afraid to talk to people. So maybe that's something that was, I guess, on your side, or maybe that's something that's carried on from then too.
I think so. I think it takes a while for me to feel comfortable, or I don't know, just kind of show all aspects of my personality.
Yeah,
But
that's
I
very normal.
can, yeah. But I think just being able to go up and talk to different people or being like, oh, what are you doing? Let's hang
Mm,
out kind of thing. I think
mm,
that came very easily.
yeah.
Yeah.
Um, Now, obviously you're still in Victoria. High school, we get through that.
We do.
Barely, or with flying colors, or
Barely.
get me out of here as soon as we can.
Um, High school, I moved in Victoria, I moved schools another three times. Oh no,
Yeah.
two times.
Mm-hmm.
So I did year nine at Chirac, another all girls school.
Mm.
Hated it.
Now
Met one
I
of
don't know
my
I don't know my Melbourne geography 100%, but Toorak is quite an affluent suburb in Melbourne.
Chirac is an affluent suburb. This was a school in Mount Eliza though, so still pretty up there.
Yeah,
Um, Very fancy, beautiful school. Um, but again, yeah.
just full of bitches.
Yeah, it wasn't the nicest group. It was very cliquey
Yeah.
and it was I found it to be quite boy obsessed. Um, and me having gone through a lot of co-ed friendships and co-ed schools being like, really? This is what you're these guys are weird. It's good, but it was just very funny. But I met one of my other best friends, Jess, there, and we've been friends ever
Yeah.
since. She matches my weird, and I love that.
Yeah, cool.
After that, I did 10 to 12 at Elizabeth Murdoch College in Langy, around the corner from where I'm living now, and went there because they had a performing arts program, and that was something I was really passionate about.
Hmm.
That was a big hobby of mine for ages, just music and acting and drama and musical theatre. So uh, got into that program there, which only lasted the year 10. And then year 11 and 12 was just normal VCE.
Hmm.
And yeah, barely got through.
Just the pressure of it all.
Um, it was a big mix of things. I love learning, but I wasn't the best test taker or
Yep.
anything like that. So the pressure was really good. The pressure was fine for school, but I am a toxic perfectionist. Have to get
Yeah.
things right the first time. Otherwise, I just don't I don't care about it anymore. Or
Mm.
I will care to an extent, but it would just be very frustrating. Um, but yeah, so a lot of the things, if I didn't get it right the first time, then I'd think that there was something wrong with me, or why can I pick up something else but not this? Um, I went through at the end of year 8 to year 12 was started going through a really bad battle with depression and eating disorders,
Hmm.
and anxiety, and got diagnosed and medicated for them. And that kind of came to a bit of a head around year 10, I want to say. That was probably a pretty bad year. A lot of like suicidal ideation and self-harming and all that good stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so it was quite a battle with myself of like, well, kind of what's the point? Like, why even bother trying with school? Like, why even bother trying with this, that, and the other?
Let's let's not jump too deep into that because it must have been horrible for you.
Yeah.
What what not what necessarily got you out of it, but what helped you see the light of that? Because like to look and talk to you now, to a lot of people that would seem like quite a shock to say that you were that sort of person. So
Mm.
what got you, what started to help you get out the other side of that?
Um, it's a long time to think back to. I think honestly, finishing school and getting out of that kind of environment, I think maybe just changing my environment, changing the people I was hanging out with, um, pursuing the things that I wanted to do,
Hmm.
I think kind of helped me break out of that cycle in my own head.
So it was definitely that thing where again, we try not to pass blame and this sort of stuff, but it was a product very much of the environment that you were in.
100%. Yeah, there was a lot of stuff going on at home that was quite tumultuous. Um, and so as I got older, I was able to kind of realize that and speak up for myself a lot more and just bring myself those little bits of confidence and kind of show myself that um, things don't have to continue on this way. So when I did finish high school and when I was able to look at things that I wanted to pursue in the future, um, passions that I wanted to follow, um, being able to have the freedom to find other friends and not just stick with the ones that you meet in school and
Mm.
you're friends with them because of proximity. Um, I think that was a massive thing that helped me kind of let go of a lot of that tension.
I always call this the high school theory,
Mm,
that there is a group of friends that in high school that you mixed with, and but as soon as you leave high school, you literally stop talking to them or hanging out with them because that was all that you had in common. That
100%.
was all that you
Like,
had. And that's not a bad thing, but that was, yeah, they were there, you were there, but it's same as like you work at, when the older you get, you work at a job and you leave that job and you never talk to those people you worked with again because that was all you had in common.
exactly. Like, I think I remember finishing high school and maybe hanging out with that complete friend group, maybe a small handful of times
Hmm.
after graduating. Um, and now I think I have maybe a select few, less than five people from different high schools that I went to,
Yeah.
that I'm still close with and that are like best friends, like lifelong friends.
Yeah. There's a big difference between friends and mates.
100%.
So we get through that
Mm-hmm.
barely, barely. Um, and we'll probably come back to it at some point. But finish grade 12,
Mm-hmm.
what happens now? Because how old are we? How old are we right in this moment, Natasha French?
27.
Jesus, I was 27 once. It was 19,
A
no,
long time ago.
2002. Yeah. Anyway, keep going. It's not
Oh.
about me, it's about you.
Um, yeah, so I'm 27 now. So I graduated high school 10 years ago, which is wild. I got like a 10-year reunion event thing pop
Mm.
up late last year or earlier this year. I
Wait till
was
there's
like,
talk
oh
of your
shit.
35-year reunion,
Oh
champion.
my
All right.
God.
I know, right?
You don't even realize it's been that long until those things
Mm-mm.
pop up.
No, you don't. Anyway, like I said, it's not about me. Keep talking.
Um, so after high school, so it was 2016, 2017 was a year of like I broke up with my high school boyfriend. So that was a very big um, kind of change there. Um, and then it was just a year of kind of exploring a lot. So I started doing different hobbies that I wanted to do, volunteering in like this music like youth organizing group that
Hmm.
was just local to us. Um, Started doing different sports that I wanted to do, like roller derby, and um, delved more into music, and was just trying to find like hanging out with friends and all that kind of stuff. Um, Started working, and when I started working, I was working in a lot of different hospitality jobs. So um, doing waitressing and working at cafes, and I think I had maybe like two or three jobs going at once.
Mm,
Was doing some event work as well for like Melbourne Cup and doing bartending and stuff there, which was
hmm
so much fun.
hmm
Loved that. Continued that for a couple of years, doing like bartending for the F1 and
Yeah.
MotoGP and all of that. Very fun.
Now, go back a step. 'Cause
Yeah.
I've got to ask this. Roller derby.
Yeah.
How does one get into roller derby?
I
Now
really,
let's even go back a little bit more, or not more, but let's delve in a bit deeper. Would you be willing to share with the group, what was your roller derby name?
so I thought that
Mhm.
Jackson gave me this name, but it was actually an old boss of mine. Velvet Sledgehammer.
Mm. And why did you receive said name?
Um, because of the way that I delivered information at one of my old jobs was very blunt, but it wasn't like it wasn't mean, hence the velvet. So
There was no misinterpreting what you meant.
no, I was just giving information.
Sure. Um, so like, and again, I'm trying to not jump off on too much of a tangent, but how do you look up in the, you know, you wake up in the morning, go, I need to get into a sport. Oh, roller derby. Let's do that.
I really
Mm.
loved the
Could
movie
you
Whip
roller
It.
skate before you did roller derby?
I could roll a blade. I couldn't
Oh,
skate.
okay. Do you roller skate in roller derby or roller blade?
Skate.
Oh,
Yeah. So that was a big
that was
learning
an
curve.
immediate hurdle.
Yeah. Yeah, mentally and physically.
I want to be a swimmer, but all I've got on me is a dog paddle.
Yeah. You'll come to learn, Kyle, that I pretty much, if something's cool to me, I'll just do it.
Yeah.
I really loved the movie Whip It growing up. I thought that was the coolest shit ever. I still love that movie. So I think I just looked it up and was like roller derby near me or like roller derby
Yeah.
clubs. I was like, this is cool. Can I do it? Oh yeah, it's near me. It's cheap. Cool. I'll just do it.
Okay. So again, this kind of intrigues me a little bit. Do you like, no, I'm sorry, I'm very uneducated in my roller derby education. Is it a game? Like, do you do a game once a week? Is there a season? Like,
Yeah. Yeah. So um I never got to that level of competing. So I was just trained. Um, but I think they do have seasons and they would have um games less so than like once a week, but it'd be maybe every month or so. Just with different, there's a bunch of different leagues around Melbourne. And so there'd be, I think there was one they even did in Adelaide. That was a big one. It was like a national one. So they had a bunch of different leagues coming in there. And it is, I guess you could call it a game. Um, it's point scoring pretty much. So you have like different people in the team, like different positions. And there's one person that out of the team that's able to score points rather than the other. The others are mainly for like defending and attacking the other team.
And while
And
you're
then
not trying to score points, you're just trying to kill the other people on the team or
stay
whatever.
alive
Stay
and
alive.
trip them and shoulder them.
Did you do you have any scars to tell the tale, or what was the best injury?
No scars. I slammed pretty hard into to a wall of the rink that we were skating around because we were just trying to go for speed
Hmm.
and trying to see as fast as we could get around the ring. And then I was crossing my feet over to turn, and one of my skates just slid out from underneath me, and I just slammed straight into the side of the ring. And I think I got a really nice bruise on my thigh from it. That was good fun. No elbows to the face or anything, but you're wearing like knee pads and elbow pads and a helmet, so you can't really do too much damage.
And again, my final question before we move on, because I could do a podcast on this. Um, did other people have names?
Yes.
So that's like a requirement.
Yeah, it's kind of like a fight name.
Okay.
So, yeah, usually other people will give you your name. I think some people will choose a name for themselves.
What was the weirdest
Um,
name that you'd heard?
oh God, I can't even remember. There were some really good ones though. I think my coaches, one of them, their derby name was Zoom. That was
Hmm.
fun. And then the other one, her name was Zombetti.
Zombetti. Right.
Like, yeah, just very fun. They were all very creative.
And in real
And
life, her name was Sharon.
no, literally, yeah, like Joe and yeah, Megan. Like, it's just so
Hilarious.
fun. It's just one of those things where you get to have a little fun and do something a little bit brutal and um
Well,
go as
well,
fast as you can.
you know,
Have you not seen With It?
yeah, I have. You'd be true. Well, God, again, years ago. But I mean, you'd
Yeah,
almost use that like a as a how-to video, wouldn't you?
yeah, 100%. Because the amount of times that you go into Derby, or like when I first joined, they were like, "Oh, what made you want to do it?" And they were like, "If you say with it," like I was gonna say with it. So it seems like the
They
kind
should
of
be
natural
grateful.
progression. Yeah,
It's
exactly.
a promotional
Doing
video.
wonders for the sport. Yeah.
What so let's get back and let's get back on a timeline.
Mhm.
What happens after school? We study?
We do study. So I think I worked out in 2017, I started studying at RMIT.
Yep.
And I initially started with a Bachelor of Social Science,
Mm-hmm.
so around youth work,
Mm-hmm.
which was good. It was enjoyable. I liked going to uni. I liked learning. Um, I liked the kind of experience of self-learning, um, and just being able to do it at your own pace, meeting different people, like going to all like the clubs and all of that. Um, and then that same year, I think I transferred into a different degree because it wasn't science based enough. It was too much of the counseling and not enough of like the actual like psychology, I guess. Um, but because I didn't get a high enough ATAR, I didn't get into psychology. I couldn't get into psychology straight away.
Mm-hmm.
So the plan was just to get into uni and then get the credits and then hopefully be able to transfer to the
Mm-hmm.
course that I actually wanted,
Mm-hmm.
but at least just get in first. Um, and then, so I think later in that year, I ended up transferring into um, another area that I had interest in, which was just doing a Bachelor of Arts because mum was like, just do something,
Yeah.
just get your degree. So I ended up transferring into a Bachelor of Arts, but it was majoring in music business, and I think I chose political science as my minor. So bit of a pivot there, but it was enjoyable. Like I really liked the course, and it was really interesting learning about like music engineering and the back end of um, what it takes to run musicians and like the managing side of things and all of that.
Okay.
Um, was really good. And then yeah, started doing cheerleading for that year as well while I was at RMIT.
Of course.
So that was fun.
It's like what's like let's just pick an obscure sport. Yeah, cool. Let's do that, you know.
Honestly, if you wanted a person that has done like obscure jobs and sports their whole life, I'm your girl.
What is that then? Why are you drawn to that and not to, I don't know, touch footy or like, or I'm gonna go play a little bit of, I don't know. I'm trying to think of a very generic sport whilst not offending
Soccer.
anybody. Yeah, like it's next thing you're gonna tell me, like I was the national pickup sticks champion or something like that. Like it's just that thing where, so do you think, and I'm trying to trace this back, because you were so used to like, changing schools, moving, doing stuff on your own, flying overseas at 10 years old, I wouldn't, like, I'm not going to say like you had, well, you did have confidence, but I guess what I'm trying to say is the concept of going and doing something a little bit out of the box by yourself was quite normal.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd say so. I'd say I was uh I think a lot of it looking back now was undiagnosed ADHD. Um, but yeah, I think a lot of things I just wasn't scared to do it and to be
Hmm.
the only one doing it.
Yeah.
Um, I think, yeah, because I was moving around quite a lot and doing a lot of things on my own, I was just like, okay, well, I want to do this. No one else wants to do it, but I still want to do it anyway.
Yeah.
So, like, I was in chess club. I was doing,
Let's just keep, well, we'll take that bit out, mate.
yeah, yeah,
We
yeah.
won't talk about
Just
that.
edit that out. Um, I did basketball. That's pretty generic.
Yeah, that is generic.
Yeah, I did basketball. Um, I was horse riding for a while there. Um, did a lot of different like music things, all that kind of stuff. But yeah, I think it was just whatever I found an interest in, especially after high school, and I had the ability to just do it and decide for myself rather than mum kind of, obviously mum needing to pay for the sports that I wanted to do at school.
Mm,
Um, like I could just go do it if I wanted to, and I had the financial means and the time to be able to.
yeah.
Yeah.
So university,
Hmm.
what do we, so you've, I think just recently, I think in the last couple of weeks, what have we graduated as?
So I graduated with my advanced graduate diploma of psychology,
Okay.
which is like the honors equivalent of like the bachelor side of things.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So I always say it's funny, seeing where people end up. Is that
Mm.
something that you didn't think you'd end up doing?
No,
Or
I
has it always intrigued you a little bit?
it's always intrigued me.
Why?
Um, I always wanted to learn how people think and how
Hmm.
people operate. That always intrigued me. And from a young age, I was always very like forward thinking, future focused, like I'm going to study these subjects now so that I can do this later. Um, and yeah, psychology always interested me. I wanted to go into the police for ages, which I did for a little bit. Um, but because I wanted to do like the detective side of things,
Mm.
because I was a dork and Sherlock really interested me. And I was like, I want to do what he does and I want to
Basing
figure
my
out.
life off TV shows. Yeah, I get it. I know what that's
Yeah.
exactly like. I know
It's
what
like
that's
I want
saying.
to know how people think and learn about human behavior and be able to help people. Um, and so I knew that I would like to get to psychology eventually. It just took me a different way of getting there than I had originally planned to.
So we've graduated. Well, actually, let's go.
No, I
Let's go back a little bit because there's still bits to cover there, isn't there?
yeah,
So
I
because
dropped out.
and you mentioned something about the police. What happened there?
Yeah, so that was a few years later. I um so I dropped out of RMIT. I stopped studying for a little bit. Met Jackson that year, and then the year
How did that
after,
roll out from a family point of view?
that was very difficult.
Yeah,
That
I
felt
get that.
quite disappointing.
Did
Um,
you get the I'm not angry, I'm just disappointed?
yeah,
Yeah, it's like a
I
knife in
think
your heart.
Mum just wanted me to study and to do something,
Yeah,
so I have a degree behind me, which is good. But she
I know what
also
that's like.
wanted, yeah, but she also wanted me to do something that I was actively passionate about. So
Mm,
if it wasn't working, um, I also didn't want to have the debt behind me of doing something that I didn't want to continue with.
mhm.
With dad, it's obviously a lot harder because he's not there. He's in another country. So for him, it was like, okay, well, are you going to study in the future? Are you going to go back? It's like, yes. Okay, cool. So this isn't for you, but if you can go back in the future, then do that. They were both very education minded and career oriented. So they just wanted me to set myself up well for the future.
Yeah.
So yeah, dropped out of RMIT at the end of 2017. And then 2018 was when my partner Jackson and I we moved in together. But because we moved in together, I had to start working full time.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So I started working for a construction company called Coates,
Mm-hmm.
and really enjoyed it there. The awesome people. I was in their like call center in Dandenong, and that was a really great team. Had really good team leaders and bosses there.
Yeah.
Um, quickly moved into their like major projects team and started working and helping out with like the metro tunnel projects and all these
Yeah.
big citywide projects. And I really like the logistic side of things, but I absolutely hated doing 9 to 5, being inactive, sitting at a desk
Yeah.
under fluorescent lights,
Yeah.
and that was the only thing I was doing.
Yeah.
Um, but to kind of aid in that, I would still work these events on the weekends.
Mm-hmm.
So I'd work during the week, um, normal Monday to Friday, and then every so often with events, I would go and do like bartending and stuff like that
Yeah.
to spice it up a bit.
You see a lot of people like, I mean, I used to see like a lot of guys I worked with would be doing that in the earlier years. Like they'd work full time in a job and then work the weekends. I think I think sometimes it was only partially the reason, like to do that for extra money was
Yeah,
only partially the reason. I think also, like you said, some of them were like office jobs or they were quite boring jobs through the week. So they just wanted to live a little bit. And like
mm,
that's the thing, like as you would know, hospitality, bartending, nightclubs, you see a lot of funny things and like, it is, yeah, it can be shit work, but it can also be a lot of fun.
100%. Like I just love being able to meet new people and you almost put on like this different persona
Mm,
when you
100%.
go do it. So that was a lot of fun.
So now can we move into the police? What happened then?
Yeah. So I started working in the police at when was that? Um 2020,
Mm-hmm.
towards the end of the year.
Mm-hmm.
Um because I really wanted to get into the police force. Like that was one of my big aspirations for career
Mm-hmm.
for ages. And I wanted to go in and become a detective and just learn everything and work through the ranks.
Yeah.
Um, so I, because of my driving history, I couldn't get in as a sworn member.
I think we have spoken about this more than once. This is one thing we share in common.
Yeah, I think this is why you gave me Tash Bandicoot. So
That's right.
I did end up using that for the go-karts.
I saw that.
Oh, yeah, I uh my first accident was at a giveaway, so it was just a demo report thing. Um and then just a couple of speeding
Yeah.
fines and stuff like that. But that meant that I couldn't apply as a sworn member um because of the current demerits. I think you had to have like be at zero or not have any in the past couple of years or whatever. I can't remember.
Mm.
But I learned from a girl that I went to high school with that there were unsworn positions, like ununiformed positions that were admin based.
Mm-hmm.
And I never knew about that. And I thought that was the best thing ever. So I originally applied to do like property storage. Um, and then that was, I think, the most nervous I've ever been for an interview ever. My heart was in my ass. Like it was, oh my God, it was nerve-wracking because I'm looking at these people and I've got like a senior sergeant, an inspector, like all these like high ranked people. I'm like, holy shit, this is so cool, but I'm so scared. Um, and didn't end up getting that one, but ended up being called back for a personal assistant position.
Okay.
So I ended up for about, I think, 10 or 11 months being a personal assistant to one of the superintendents
Mm-hmm.
and working out of Dandenong Police Station. So I got to, it's a lot of admin, just emails, calls, logistics, uh, meeting, organizing and like taking notes in meetings and all of that and kind of liaising with different teams.
Mm.
Um, and while I was doing that, I started applying to become a sworn member because ultimately that was still the goal.
Yeah.
And I think at that time I had applied to Deakin to do a double degree of criminology and psychology. So the criminology aspect was very strong there
Mm.
in
Mm.
terms of like passions to pursue. Um, and then I really enjoyed my time there. It was so intriguing, like being able to hear everything and seeing kind of the inner workings of the system that you don't get to see as a member of the public, which is a good thing.
Mm.
Um, but then there was a lot of the internal side of things that I found that I didn't quite align with.
Yeah, right.
Um, Personal privacy, different, I guess, professional relationships and all that kind of
Mm.
thing. Um, and yeah, I after talking to a few different people about it, Jackson and some family friends that were in the force, um, I just kind of decided, okay, it's not worth it. I don't think it is actually for me, which was kind of life shattering because for years and years and years, I
Yeah, I
thought,
get that.
this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to go into the police force. I'm going to become a detective. Literally from, I think, maybe year eight, like
Mm.
that was what I wanted to do. And like the whole trajectory of my life leading up to that moment,
But then
that
there
was what I
was,
wanted to do.
yeah, but then there was probably that, the universe put me here because, yeah, I'm like, I mean, to be sworn in and then figure all that out, that would have
Yeah,
been a much worse process.
100%. Like I'm so glad I found that out the way that I did. Um, and not being, yeah, being on uniform, being on sworn, um, I was like already halfway through the process almost. So I could kind of dip out of that, cancel that process. But yeah, I'm really glad it did happen the way that it did. I think I'm
Mm,
very, very lucky because I would have had a really hard time quitting if I was already in there.
yeah, I
Purely, I
definitely.
think, out of obligation as well.
That process of getting out would have been much more difficult.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So, so we finish up with Vic Pol.
Hmm.
What happens now?
Um, so because I figure out that police isn't for me, I drop criminology
Mm-hmm.
and I just go to pursue psychology.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I go back to Coates for a little bit.
Okay.
Um, I still enjoyed working there. I still had really good connections. They still hadn't filled my position. Um, so
Irreplaceable.
literally, nah, yeah, I think I literally just called my old boss and I was like, hey, this is what's happening. Is there still a job? Like, even if it's not in the same team, like, happy to go elsewhere, but I'd really love to work with you guys again. And so I think in about a month, like the span of a month, I quit Big Pole, started back at Coates.
Yeah.
Um, Still hated the office work.
It was a means to an end.
Yeah, it really was. Um, but I really liked the office work of the police more because it was more logistical. And I think I had a bit more of an interest in it. Like, I really didn't care about construction that much at the end of the day. I just really liked the people that I was working with.
Mm.
And I really liked the work that I was doing. Um, I just didn't care as much as I probably, as someone should in that role about
Yeah.
the output. But yeah, went back, was working full time, was studying full time, um, and then kept having all of these like breakdowns and stuff. I think probably because I was like, okay, well, what's my purpose now?
Mm.
What am I doing? I'm still in a 9 to 5. I'm still studying. I've just dropped one aspect of my degree. Um, did I make the right choice? All that kind of stuff. Just feeling very overwhelmed and discombobulated, and started seeking out therapy and counseling, and kind of got back into that to try and reset myself.
Mm.
And eventually got onto the topic of ADHD.
Mm-hmm.
And through talking a lot to Jackson and kind of asking him a lot of questions and him telling me a lot of things of being like, you know how like not everyone does this or like converses this way or feels these things. It'd probably be worth talking to someone about. So I pretty much went into like I think my GP or my therapist and was like, right, I have questions. Can you please?
And they've just gone, oh.
Literally, like, why does my brain do this, but it doesn't to this person? Like, what is going on? So at 22, I got diagnosed with ADHD. So that was 2021.
Mhm.
And man, it was like a light bulb went off. It's crazy.
So I'm having this conversation with someone else at the moment.
Oh, yeah.
How how does it work? Like, how do you like when you said it's like a light bulb? I mean, do you take medication for it?
I do. Yes.
Is that like night and day?
Um,
Is it like the Matrix?
yeah, I still haven't seen The Matrix.
Oh my God.
Um,
All right. That's not even. So I get in trouble for not knowing Whip It, but you haven't seen the Matrix. All right, we're gonna move past that. We don't have time to go over that one. So anyway.
um, anyway, yeah, yeah, so medication is kind of like night and day. It helps me organize thought processes a lot more. Helps with emotional regulation. Um, a lot of impulse control I've noticed has gotten a lot better as well because of it. Um, uh, and I'm thinking through a lot of things a lot more clearly, rather than just, I guess, yeah, acting on impulse.
Do you find you get shit done better?
Yes. I find that without medication before ADHD, I could get things done, but it would take me ages to actually properly um, like lock into a task.
Mm. Mm.
But once I'm in what we know is like hyper focus, um, I'm in. But if you distract me and take me out of that, it's so hard to get back in.
Mm.
So before being diagnosed, before being on medication, um, there was a lot of times at home where I'd be doing something, studying or whatever, and Jackson would, poor thing, would ask me a simple question, and I would turn around and just snap or have an emotional reaction where there was not needed to be one, um, purely because my mind's trying to like separate the two and like come out of a task and into this and then try and get back into it. And because the with ADHD, like your brain's so active and there's so many different things going on, it takes a lot more energy to then come back into that task.
Yeah.
So it's a lot of things like that. Um, Impulse control, more of the sense of uh, interrupting conversations or just like saying things without thinking. Um, Pursuing hobbies or like buying a shit ton of materials for hobbies and then doing them for 2 days and then not touching them after because I've done them now. Like I don't need to do it again.
Like Call of
I've
Duty?
yeah, I've scratched that itch. That was good though because there was a progression to it. So I stuck with that for a few months. But things like, man, I tried to take up knitting. In COVID, that was not a. I had like six, what are they called? Balls of yarn. Um, I thought I was going to sit and knit like this massive chunky blanket and it was going to be so good. And then I tried and I didn't get it right away. So I was like, oh, well,
We're done.
we're done.
So,
But,
sorry, keep going.
uh, but it's more like night and day compared to figuring out that that's how my brain works.
Yeah.
And it's not broken compared to trying to study in high school.
It's
And why
the
is it working for everyone else but not me?
it's the understanding. The
Yeah.
understanding it. What happens, so we're coats now and doing
Hmm.
this, and we've discovered something very interesting about our brains.
Mm.
What happens then?
I go, um, I need to do something more active
Mm.
because this isn't working. Um, I still need financial security because I
Mm-hmm.
live out of home,
Mm-hmm.
but I still need to have the time to study.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm in maybe my second year of study at this point, second or third year. So the workload's kind of ramping up. So I need to scale my hours back as well. So um, I ended up quitting Coates and starting to work at Aldi.
Mm-hmm.
Um, that was that was good. That was fun. Very active. There's a lot of doing everything, and your brain needs to be focused on like five different tasks at once and kind of queuing tasks as well. So that was really good. I found that I got a lot more out of it, and the
Mm-hmm.
work was way more enjoyable. Um, the year before that was when I started training at SMAC. I started craft. So
Mm-hmm.
I started giving myself a more active hobby outside of studying and just sitting down for the whole day.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, I was still studying full time hours, and then working at Aldi. I think maybe 30 hours a week or 25 to 30. Maybe doing more, still working events. And then after Aldi, I think it was like 2023, I dropped my hours back at Aldi And that was when I was started coaching at Smack.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I picked up a second or third job as well as at a cafe because I still really enjoyed hospitality.
So
I,
sleep must have
s-
been a guilty pleasure back then, or
100%. Absolutely. I would, I think I'd work at Smack maybe like 6 hours a week, just in the afternoons. And then Aldi, I think, was, I want to say Sundays and like maybe a few hours during the week. And then at the cafe, it was a lot of early mornings. So
yeah,
a lot
right.
of the times I would go straight from the cafe to Smack.
Mm-hmm.
And I was really scaling my hours back at Aldi to try and quit. Um, and then I was training when I could and studying. And a lot of the time with study, I would wake up super early in the morning to get those hours done so that I could go to work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now let's fast forward or let's move.
Hmm.
What are we doing these days?
We are working at SMAC in
So for
the
those
ad.
who are not in the know, SMAC is Somerville Martial Arts Centre,
Hmm.
which is located in Somerville on the
Hmm.
beautiful Mornington Peninsula in Victoria. So what do you do there, Tash?
I work at the front desk. That's a loaded question, Kyle. Um,
Sweet FA. No,
uh,
sorry.
um, I work at the front desk,
Mhm.
so I'm responsible for a reception area, checking members in, doing a lot of back end admin stuff, phone calls, emails, getting new members settled, doing a lot of that back end stuff. I also do our social media, so filming, editing, posting for our Instagram, Facebook, TikTok accounts, and help organize events here and there and train and coach in our craft class as well.
And the progression from Audi to there was just a little bit of an organic thing. Just a hey, little bit more and more and more.
Yeah, pretty much. I again volunteered to coach, which freaked me out.
It's like you volunteer for a lot of things that freak you
Yeah,
out.
I know. It's those things where it's like I could never do that. Oh yeah, I'll give it a go. Um, but I just remember Matt put up a post um, and was just saying like we're looking for assistant coaches. And they were for our kids' classes, so our karate and our kickboxing, which I had never trained in before.
I
But
always
I
say teaching kids is just an exercise in logistics.
really, I've never
Straight
heard that one.
straight lines, do this, stand there,
Yeah,
hold this.
true, true. Don't run over there. Don't hang off the wall, please, Jimmy.
Don't pick your nose, stop picking your toenails.
Wrestling and biting your brother. Um, yeah, I just responded to it and I remember sending Matt this massive message, just being like, I'm really interested in this, but I'm kind of freaked out because I don't train in these styles. Like, can you tell me a little bit more? Do you think I'd be right for it? Like, just all these questions. Um, and he was like, it's all basic stuff, like stuff you already know how to do. It's just learning how to teach it.
The fact that you're
So
asking means that you're probably going to be good at it because you care.
yeah, exactly. So I just started with a few hours per week, and I think it was like for 6 or maybe 7 months was just coaching, doing the kids and teens classes, and slowly like kind of building up from there.
Yeah, right.
Um, and just doing assistant coaching, and then was at I think it was the following year. Matt asked if I wanted to be the position had become available at the front desk. So he asked if I was interested, and what hours I kind of needed to work alongside uni, um, and if I'd be keen. And I was like, yeah. So that's where I've been since.
Here we are.
Exactly.
And that's obviously led to a lot of opportunities, but
Mm,
like now you're very, what would you say, in the deep end from a training and administration. You've also been able to now get some exposure into the larger side of things with Bob Jones Martial Arts as a whole.
hmm.
Um, it's a very interesting world, isn't it?
It is very
Mm.
interesting. It's never something I thought I'd be doing,
Yeah.
or thought, yeah, I don't know. I just feel like I kind of fell into it. Um, but I'm really glad I'm doing it.
Mm. Yeah, good.
Yeah,
You've
feel it's actually like something I can be passionate about.
you've just come back from Thailand where you've done training and posting, and it's a pretty cool thing where you open up your laptop at a resort in Thailand and go, "This is my office for the next 2 hours." It's an
It's
interesting
a
feeling.
it's such a brilliant feeling, and like the fact that I've been able to have that opportunity is just
Mm.
incredible. Um, and is something that I again went and approached manager. Excuse me. Um, uh, a lot of these decisions are things that like I'll talk to Jackson and I'll talk his ear off about it and be like, oh, but this is a good idea. He's probably going to give me a lot of shit for it. Um, I think yeah, maybe I'm asking too much. I don't know. And then Matt's kind of just one of those people that'll turn around and go, yeah, come to me with a plan and then we'll see what we can do.
Yeah.
So it was just one of those kind of situations where we tried it last year, working over there and doing social media and everything. It worked. It worked well, and so we did it again this year, and it's just amazing to be able to do that and do things for Smack over there and things for BJMA over there, and train and get to meet so many different people and
Yeah.
see a different side of the world and just really be immersed in it all.
Yeah, 100%.
Mm.
Well, here we are. And that was longer
Yeah,
than 8 minutes.
100%.
Told you. All
Yeah,
right, moving
8 minutes is
on.
crazy.
Yeah, no, I just put that up. I know full well no one will ever do that. If we do in 8 minutes, we need to talk longer. Number
Hmm.
two non-negotiables that you must have slash do every day.
Um, I have two good answers and one joke answer.
Okay, sure.
Um, so I feel like I don't do the same things every single day, which is why it was a hard question for me.
Hmm.
Um, but I think the first one is going back to my planner every single day or my journal.
Are you a list writer?
I am a list writer. If something is not written down in front of me, it will not get done.
Do you get frustrated at the end of the day when there's something that you had written on the list and it doesn't get done?
Depends what it is.
Okay, what constitutes getting frustrated and what constitutes not?
I don't know. I think it's just how much I care about it. Like,
Okay.
if it's something that can easily be moved to the next day, um, then I can just carry that across. But if it's something that's like, this is the only day I had to get this done, and I've been stuck in like a paralysis the whole day of not being able to move and do stuff,
Yeah.
um, then it'll bring the frustration. But I think I've over the years just allowed myself a lot more grace with those kinds of things, and like
Yeah, okay.
you don't have to get all these 500 things done in one day.
You've been kinder to yourself.
A little bit, yeah.
What's the other one?
The other one is just doing some kind of movement,
Hmm.
whether that's training at the end of the day, going for a walk, stretching, something, um, because I find that if I don't do anything, my body is just way too stagnant and still, and so my mind doesn't kick in.
Mm. Do you feel Are you a morning exerciser or an evening exerciser?
I used to be a morning exerciser, but I think now the past couple of years I'm more like, yeah, afternoon to evening.
Hmm.
So if I force myself, I'll go to the gym in the morning or
Yeah,
like go for a run, go for a walk. Um, when I was working full time, it was easy to go to the gym in the morning because that was the only option I
that was the
had.
only chance. Yeah.
Yeah, I'd wake up at 4 and go to the gym, get changed at the gym, and then go to work.
Yep.
Um, looking at that now, I'm like, get off at 4. What? That's crazy.
Yeah, tell me about it. But
Yeah.
I do, yeah, look, I think, see, like at your age, I was an evening exerciser, very much so, but it was the circumstance because I was usually out late at night. So the concept of getting up in the morning, as I always say now, I now love exercising at the time where I used to be getting home.
Oh my God.
So it's a real full circle thing. So I think I have found I think it's a very rare thing for a younger person to be very motivated to train early in the morning. I don't think
Mm,
that's a very common thing. I think, and you would probably see, I mean, you guys don't do a lot of early morning stuff, but
mm,
our classes, our early morning, like 35 in our early morning stuff is young.
yeah.
Um, but then it's interesting. Our morning Muay Thai, a lot of them are under 35. So I think it's yeah, back to probably the environment. Don't know.
Yeah,
And then maybe it's out of necessity too, like you said. If that's all that's available, then that's what you do.
exactly. You're still getting it done.
What's your funny one?
My ADHD meds.
That's so it is a non-negotiable. Can you I said to you before, can you notice if you've taken them or not?
Mm.
If you have you ever had the instance where like you've gone away for a weekend and you've forgotten them or you've like run out and it's taken a couple of days, whatever. Has that ever happened and you're going, oh shit, I'm glad I take these things.
There was I think maybe 1 or 2 years ago where we had like a nationwide shortage
Yeah, right.
and no one could get meds for, I think it was like months. Um, and so I know you're not supposed to rely on them because that's not what they're there for. It's just an aid. Um, but the difference and even just how quickly my body got stressed or like got to a
Mm,
heightened emotional state.
mm,
Not even about big stresses, but just little stresses,
mm,
things not getting done or not going a certain way that I wanted it to. Being able to just get assignments done on their due date because of how long it would take me to focus and get into the work. Um, Oftentimes I was completing them like the day of or the
yeah,
day
right.
before they were due.
And that so yeah, so you noticed it very much so.
Such a big difference. Yeah. Yeah.
Well,
Massive difference.
people don't forget their toothbrush, you don't forget your meds.
Exactly.
It's like whenever I'm traveling for karate or whatever, I'll check about 14 times before I get to the airport that I did put my belt in the bag. You're doing the same with your meds.
God. Have you ever forgotten it?
No,
Oh, that's good.
but I have like been driving to the airport and pulled over on the side of the road and checked the bag, knowing full well that I'd only checked it 6 minutes beforehand or something. Because yeah, it's just that one thing I can't forget that. Like I
Take
can,
a photo of it.
yeah, I
Take
can
a
borrow.
photo of it in your bag, and then you've got the
I've
timestamp on
got
it as
evidence.
well.
Yeah, but Tash, it might have materialized out of my bag and gone somewhere else. Like
Still can't like
the
prove it to
fairies,
yourself.
the fairies may have come and got it. Like there could be a number of things that have
Mm.
happened since I took that photo.
The sock fairies have migrated to belt fairies.
Oh God. Anyway, as I said, it's not about me. All right, three people. Question three. Three people, alive or dead, that you would love to have over for dinner.
hmm Um, I think my first one I went to immediately my brain went to family.
It usually does.
Um, yeah. So my Omni passed a couple of years ago, so she was my number one, my immediate
Mm-hmm.
person that was on the list.
Mm-hmm.
I'd love to be able to have a family dinner with her again and just talk and
Mm.
hear all kinds of stories and just hang out and
Mm.
hear all her pearls of wisdom. And yeah, so that was a big one. Um, I think number two, I had dad because we don't get to see each other as much, and just
Mm-hmm.
being able to have him over and have family dinners is something that I really cherish when I do see him.
It's a thing that we don't know how much we, I don't know, how much we need that until we don't have it. I mean, there's a number of things, but yeah, those simple pleasures are the things that we miss the most.
Mm,
What's number
yeah.
three?
Number three, so those two came really easily. Number three, I had to think about for a long time.
Mm.
Um, and I was kind of think my thought process of this is, okay, whose brain do I want to pick?
Mm.
Um, and the person I came up with was John Green. He is an author.
Mm-hmm.
Um, him and his brother still do, I think, a series on YouTube called Crash Course. And they do a bunch of different like subjects
Yeah.
and different topics and stuff. I used to watch those videos in high school, like the psychology videos. They were just so engaging. That was the only way my brain could take in the information. So I
Mm.
really just love to ask him questions about his writing, his books, different plot points in his books that I need answering, and just like talk to him about science and psychology and just everything. I think it would be really good to hold a conversation with him.
Now, here's an interesting question because I mean, we talk about people we would love to sit and have dinner with.
Mm,
We say that we would love to do that, but how do you reckon you'd go if you did get the chance to sit down? The reason I ask this is I have I have interacted with a lot of, I guess you'd say, celebrities, but what I have found was doing it in a work environment compared to a personal environment is
mm.
very different. So my wife loves to tell the story of how, I think it was a couple of years ago now, 18 months ago, we had the opportunity to meet the skateboarder Tony Hawk.
Oh, cool.
So we did a meet and greet with Tony Hawk, and I idolized Tony Hawk as a child and as a teenager skating. We got to our turn. We stood up, shook hands. He signed a couple of things. I was completely starstruck, completely speechless. And Helen literally really didn't like knew of him, but wasn't, and she had to take over the conversation because I was just like, oh,
Oh
and I'm
my
like, and I
God.
was just like, oh my God, I don't think I've ever been like that before. So it is funny when people say they'd love to sit and have a meal with this person. And I've met an author that I really admired, and it was a similar thing. I actually got more than 5 words out with him,
Oh, good
but
job.
it, yeah, thanks. Um, but it's interesting to sit down and talk to somebody who you just, you can't believe you're sitting in the same room as them. What would you actually say? What would you talk about? And I've always said working with when I was lucky enough to work with high profile people, they are just people too.
Mm,
But yeah, I think sometimes just talking to them like they're a person and like even like a podcast point of view,
mm,
like I remember when I interviewed the last time I interviewed Richard Norton, he said how much he
mm,
loved doing this because he said, oh, great, I don't get asked the same fucking questions all the time. So
mm-hmm.
yeah, it'd be, I've always wondered, like, if you sat down and did get to talk to them, what would you say? Like,
Yeah.
and even
Like,
even family members, like you said, family members who you don't get to see a lot.
mm,
Do you have the chance for the small talk, or do you want to jump straight to the big questions because oh, maybe I won't get this opportunity again or as much as I'd like? So, yeah, it's
mm.
interesting.
It is really interesting. And um, I think that's a really good point because especially like he's so smart, man. So I just really hope I'd be able to hold my own and like actually delve into the topics. But I think it'd be um, decent conversation. I'll never know, but like,
Hey,
but
you never know if you never know if that will actually be what you never know because, like you said, you're doing something now you never thought you would. You might just literally, yeah, as we both know, it's funny where the world ends up.
exactly.
Um, the only other thing I was saying when you were talking about your grandparents,
Mm,
there was a thing that came up on my Instagram. Andy Lee was getting interviewed by somebody, and he was talking about grandparents or something like that, and he said he wished he had asked his grandparents more questions.
mm,
He said when he was little, your grandparents, like they would, do stuff with you and all the rest of it, but he wasn't old enough to ask the big questions. Like,
mm.
what was it like? What about this? What would you have done there? How did you handle this? He said, because there's such an age gap, you're not wanting to talk about those things. So it'd be interesting, yeah, same thing for me to talk to my grandfather in particular at my age now, be a very different conversation.
Yeah, 100%. Like I think with my Ommi, we were very close. She pretty much helped raise me. Um, I think now it's not even like I have specific questions for her or whatever, but it's just every so often something will come up and I'm like, oh, I wish I could talk to her about
Yeah,
this. Or like,
she'd know what to do.
exactly, she'd know what to say, or she'd have just the right piece of
Mm,
advice for it. Yeah,
mm.
it's little moments like that.
Yeah, I think then we have to flip that and we sort of, we would say, well, what would they do in this situation?
Mm,
Hopefully what we do. Hopefully we make the right decision. All right. Question number 4. Where were you when you had that moment that this is, far out, that you knew this is what you were put on earth to do? Kyle, go back and make your questions more readable. All right. All right. Are you yet to have that moment? Because you are a pup.
yeah, I I did struggle with this one because like I never knew that this is where life would take me.
I don't think any of us do. And like you said, you had a couple of real things in mind. This is what I want to do. This is what I want to do. And then you get into it and go, actually, no, this isn't
Yeah,
what I want to do.
no. I think looking back at all the interests that I had for certain careers and studying and all of that, the kind of the bottom line was just helping people.
Hmm.
Um, and so whether that like was psychologically or physically or something like that, I think that's what it came down to for me. And I don't think there was any one moment. There was a lot of different moments that kind of sparked that. So I think one of them was I used to attend this youth group, not youth group, but like I don't know what you'd call it, like a support group kind of thing. It's run by the Reach Foundation. They're a mental health organization, and so they do like these workshop groups that would run weekly. And it was a place for teenagers and for young people to just come and have a space where they can just talk freely and be themselves and work through shit. And it was totally unfiltered.
Hmm.
And I think I remember looking at what these volunteers were doing and going, okay, how do I get better to do that so I can help other people who are in my position get better?
Yeah, right.
And
So
so
do you
that
think,
was a
sorry, keep going.
I was just going to say that was, I think, a big push for that kind of psychology point of view.
So do you think when you're answer for anyone in the future who's answering this question,
Mm.
think of a theme more than a thing.
I think so. I think if you look at what a consistent theme has been or a consistent interest that kind of stacks together different careers or I guess different areas of your life, different passions. then it's easier to find,
Mm,
it's not what like your purposes, because you can have a lot of different purposes in life, but I guess what your main passion is.
mm. I think, yeah, like I said, eh, you seem to have been choosing vocations or stuff appeals to you where you're helping people.
Hmm.
So, I mean,
I
if that's the theme, then that can lead to any number of things.
Yeah, exactly. And I think I never I never knew that that would be the same with martial arts.
Mm,
Um, and as I've trained more and more in different styles, and then going through coaching as well, and even just talking to kids while I've been on the front desk, and a kid comes in and they've clearly had a bad day. Okay, do you want to go over to the side and have a quick chat before you go in, and what's on your mind, that kind of thing. I'm like, oh shit, like this is a whole different side to it.
do you,
And
yeah, and now I guess, now have you seen, you would have seen a whole different side to martial arts that you didn't think existed. Well, I mean, if you don't do it, then you don't know it, do you?
exactly, you only know what you're actively doing, what's actively inside your immediate bubble.
Mm, mm,
Um, but yeah, like I've never been able to meditate, but when I do forms in karate, I can. It's like an active meditation because that's the only thing that my brain's focused on. It's got no time to wander. It's so completely present. Um, a combination of that and seeing kids that come in that have ADHD, that have autism and things like that, and just seeing the progression that they make and how much it positively
yeah.
impacts them is just
The change in the
amazing.
kid. And again, like, yeah, now you've been at Smack for a little while, you would, you would see that kid that was this and now they're this. And I think that's the thing too with those kids. Because they keep setting the bar as they go, and even, dare I say, the parents do the same, they forget what they were like when they started.
Mm-hmm.
Like, uh, one of the kids that went to Thailand this year, um, she was, I won't say her name, but she was 16 with us. I remember that kid having more than one panic attack when I would
Mm.
say, put your sparring gear on.
Oh my God.
And then she is in one of the rings at Sichitong, sparring and clinching one of the Thai girls, and especially in the clinching, more than holding her own.
That's
And
awesome.
I think it's just saying to them, I remember, and I actually made a point of saying to her, we've come a long way since you used to cry when I said, go get your sparring gear. And she almost was a little bit embarrassed. I said, don't be embarrassed, be proud of that. And
Yeah.
again, obviously, because you're in a space where you recognize it even more because you're living it in a different part of your life, you go, oh, man, and again, we look back and we go, God, I wish there was, maybe if someone had given me a little bit more support in this space when I was younger, things might have turned out a bit different. And again,
Mm-hmm.
growing up in different generations, we don't, you know, stuff that was happening to me in the late 80s and early 90s, that's all our parents knew.
Exactly. It's their first
Now
time doing it as well.
ADHD I think ADHD is a term these days. Is a term that almost gets used too much.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
Because it's just, oh, that's my ADHD. Yeah, but it's no, it's not. But yeah, so
Yeah,
we're very comfortable using it now, you know. It's like,
100%. Like it's everyone's got comfortable actually talking about it and kind of giving it that space for people who struggle with it to actually talk about it and to give the topic a little bit more light, which is really good. But yeah, the oversaturation is a big issue, I find.
I always say, how many brilliant martial artists did we miss out on and did we lose because they were the kid that wouldn't stand bloody still, kept talking out of turn. We
Mhm.
couldn't focus, and because they just kept getting in trouble all the time, they quit.
Yeah,
So, but hopefully now we lose less of them. And God, look at any high level combat sport athlete. Oh man, they are everywhere.
Exactly. 100%. You
They
just need
are
to find
everywhere.
that one thing that soothes your mind.
Yeah, they are everywhere. All right, number
Exactly.
five. Well, who is one person that you credit with setting you in the right direction?
Um, I I wrote down mum, I think, for this one. I
Hmm.
think growing up, she was just such a good example of what it means to just um, kind of strive to achieve exactly what you want. And I remember when we were living in the Northern Beaches, she was studying full time, doing her MBA, whilst looking after me and my sister, and then with my stepdad there as well. But she would get up at I think 3, 4 a.m. and study, and then get us ready for school, and then go to work and come home and cook and do all the normal house stuff, and then do more hours of study before she went to bed, and then rinse and repeat. And so seeing that, I don't think I noticed it as much then as looking back now.
Mm.
Um, but we'd go visit her at uni sometimes, and then we got to go and see her graduate, which was amazing. And I think just seeing all of what she sacrificed for my sister and I to have
Mm.
a good future and to go to good schools and to live in beautiful places um, is, I think, something that I really deeply admire. Just
Mm.
the drive and the determination. And her main thing that she's always told me is that, you know, you can do everything if you want to. Like, you shouldn't limit yourself to just working, to just doing this, to just doing studying. Like, she was a great mum. She worked full time, she studied full time. She looked after us. She made sure that we were doing hobbies and things like that that interest us.
Yeah.
And she was still doing what she wanted to do as well.
And I think that's the thing. Like if there's a couple of things there. Like, I mean, if you wanna if you want to do something, you'll find a way to do it.
Exactly.
Um, you know, if you want to get it done, you'll get it done. I think the other thing, and I say this so much, like our parents can teach us one of two things. They can teach us how to parent, or they can teach us how not to parent. Um, so yeah, I mean we are the same, and I mean I'm sure there's other families that are very busy, and I think if you pass that down to your children, that again that whole it's so cliche, but yeah, there is 24 hours in a day. We all have the same
Mm,
amount of time. How we choose to use it is up to us.
100%. And like, in terms of parenting and stuff, there's definitely things that I don't want to pass along in different um, kind of behaviors and how mum and I would argue
You can't
and
make
all
an
of
omelet
that.
without breaking a few eggs, mate.
Bit of character building. Um,
Oh yeah.
but yeah, it's all lessons. It's
Yeah.
all life is. It's all lessons. It's all experience.
There's no ops manual, mate.
Nah,
If there
learn
was
on
a
the fly.
if there was a try before you buy, mate, I would have asked for a refund more than once.
That's
Hi, girls.
brilliant. Good
All right.
luck.
Number six. Rock star or movie star? Which one and why?
Okay, this question confused me. Am I talking to them?
I
Is it
know.
who I like or who I want to be? Or
I need to probably reword this. Okay, so it probably should say, would you rather be a rock star
ah,
or a movie star? Which one and why?
yeah, that's good. Um, I think I was more drawn to music growing up. So I think more drawn to being a rock star or a musician.
Hmm.
Um, because yeah, growing up, I'd always be singing. Mum always got me into like performing arts and musical theatre and all of that kind of stuff. I was teaching myself instruments in high school and um, doing like choir and performing in bands and stuff like that. That was something that was always a strong passion of mine and was a very real passion, I think, primary school through to early high school of like, I want to go even just to drama school. Like, mum wanted me to go to NIDA
Mm,
um, and do drama, but I really didn't like being in front of the camera and like acting and stuff like that.
yeah.
I liked acting in classes and for theater and stuff like that, but not like screen
Yeah.
acting.
Okay.
Um,
Mm.
Singing, I loved. Singing, I have a really funny relationship with because of like bullying and stuff like that that went on at schools. Um, and I loved performing, and then eventually just did less and less and less of it
Yeah. Okay.
because of that. Um, but outside of high school, I do a lot of like open mics, and in the last year of high school, we did Battle of the Bands,
Mm,
and we performed at graduation. Um, and it was just the best time. Like it's that same thing of putting on a different persona, going out and doing a kind of passion that comes from like a place in your soul that you can kind of like bear that.
so in that, two questions.
Mm,
Number one, if there was if you were in a dream
mm.
and a band called you up and said, "Hey, we need a fill in. Are you in?"
Holy
Who would
shit.
you wish that would be?
Oh God. That's such a hard question. Um,
Now we look at this laterally. It's not just a must be your favorite band, like a band like just as a performance point of view.
yeah, I don't know. Like the immediate band that comes to mind is Paramore.
Okay.
But there's
So if Haley pulled a sickie,
but this is what I'm saying, right? Like there's no way anyone could fill those shoes. Are you kidding? Holy shit, that woman is a mastermind.
you're
But
too tall anyway. She's tiny.
yeah, my feet are too big. Those shoes would not fit.
She's tiny.
Um uh I don't know. That's such a hard question because I also don't think I listen to a lot of bands that are like, here's a few frontmen or like here's a few um people. Like it's more like
The
an
group.
artist and yeah, like the full group. Um, I think someone with like it would need to be something really fun. I think it couldn't be too serious. Like I'd need to be able to goof off a little bit. The
Yep.
first one that kind of comes to mind is like an ABBA or a Fleetwood Mac or something
Yeah.
like
Okay.
that.
Okay.
There's a little bit of yeah funk to it.
So the second question, like you said, you've always had an interest in it.
Mm.
Is it off the table or is it still a little bit on the table?
Not like to pursue it professionally.
Oh, well, everything starts as a hobby.
Yeah, I I think it'll still remain a hobby.
Yeah, cool.
I for a while there in high school I was uploading like covers of songs to YouTube,
Mm.
which I will now go in private. Um
Just 1 second. Okay.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, just as a way to learn new songs on guitar and play and sing and
Mm,
um just do things that I wanted to do again,
mm,
kind of like that. Um, I now will maybe pick up my guitars and play the piano every so often. Um, and I'll almost kind of have to reteach myself some songs, but
Yeah.
I I just love it. Like it's such a good um almost like escape. But it is something that I find I'll have to most of the time be alone in the house doing
Mm, mm.
because I do find it quite vulnerable.
Yeah. I mean, like, it's yeah, I get that. I understand where you're coming from. But again,
Mm,
like you said, you just never know where things are going to end up.
exactly.
You know,
100%. But yeah,
just
I think I'm too old to do that now. I
oh,
don't
come on,
know.
come on, easy, easy. All right, number seven. Two
Mhm.
things that are on your bucket list.
I had so many things I want to do, man. Um, okay, the immediate two things that kind of came to mind when I read this question was I've always wanted to go to Finland to see the Northern Lights.
Okay. Now, well, actually, give me the second one.
And the second one, oh, it's kind of tied with another one, but the second one is it's a bit closer, it's a bit more local.
Hmm.
In WA, there's a place where you can go that's like an ethical conservational company where you can go and swim with whale sharks.
Yes. Yes.
I'd really love to do that.
What's it called? It starts with an M, is it?
It does, yeah. I can't remember what the name of it is off the top of my head.
Mingaloo, something. Anyway, I know where you're talking about. So
Yeah.
my question, and
Mhm.
I got this idea from a mate of mine that we both know,
Okay.
is that when we say bucket list, is that something that it's going to take you literally being on your deathbed or getting bad news before you do it? Or is that something that you reckon within 5 years you'll be doing both of those?
Um, Probably within 5 years.
Okay.
Yeah, purely because I'm not someone that waits to do things.
Hmm.
If I want to enough, then I just will. But obviously, both of them require travel and some financial planning. So
Hmm.
there's, yeah, some time needed,
But
but ideally sooner rather than later.
as we've now known, you can be sitting in an office in Thailand, and that's somewhere you didn't think you'd be 5 years ago.
Exactly.
The point I'm making, and it's interesting, like now when I talk about bucket lists, not like I said, we're not all made of money and we can't all just go, yeah, I'm going to do that. But yeah, like you said, why do you wait if there is something that you want to do?
Mm,
How often have we go, oh, I'd really love to go and do that, and then you go and do it, and you go, actually, that wasn't that hard to organize. Okay, well,
yeah,
what else could I do? You know, what else is something that I've really wanted to do? Hmm.
100%. I think, you have no idea what's going to happen tomorrow or the next day or the next day. And so if you keep putting stuff off for too long, you have no idea if you're actually going to be able to do it at the end of the day. Um, and I always think of like there's this one band that I really wanted to see that came to Melbourne. But none of my friends were fans of them. No
Hmm.
one wanted to come see them. And so I didn't go. But they were touring with an album that I really enjoyed. And I still think about it now. It was years ago. I'm like, I should have just gone by myself.
Yeah,
I would have had a great time. I would have seen the band that I wanted to go see. I should have just gone and done it anyway.
this is like when people go overseas and they just sit in their hotel room all day. I go,
Mm,
what are you doing? Just go for a walk. I
yeah,
love,
go
I
see
love,
stuff.
I love nothing more than being overseas and just going for a walk and just looking around, you
Mm.
know. All right. Number eight. If you could live anywhere in the world, where and why?
I I think this concept of home is it feels kind of hard because I feel like because I've moved around so much and I've been able to see a lot of the world and live in a lot of different places.
Hmm.
Um, I feel at home in so many different spaces, but not necessarily want to live there. Or I feel like there's places that I haven't been able to travel to yet that I feel like I'd get that feeling from. Um, but when I think of where I'd want to live or where I'd feel at home, it kind of ties into that feeling of being at peace.
Mm.
Um, and I think I think we live in such a beautiful part of the world now. I think I'd be happy living here. But I think I'm also happy living here because I'm live very close by to mum and my sister and family. Um, but then after traveling to Singapore so much, that felt like home for a while. Um, I love the food, the climate, the people, um, the different pockets of Singapore.
So this
Um,
is this is back to the well, I'm finding this question brings up, like, not every time, but a lot of the time, this similar response.
mm,
It's not the place, it's the people.
yeah,
Or like yeah, again, that old person saying, um, you know, it home isn't an address, it's the people I'm with.
yeah,
Wherever my people are, that's my home.
it's a feeling. It's it's that yeah that feeling of you've got the right people around you. You're at peace. You're um can wake up in the morning and kind of take that deep breath and
Mm.
kind of relax and feel calm, feel safe. Um, I think thinking about all the places that I've lived, one place in particular that makes me feel like that is when we lived in the Southern Highlands. When
Yeah,
we lived
right.
on that big country, that big uh, property in the country. It's rural, it's beautiful. There's um, wildlife around. You can hear the birds in the morning. Um, some of my favorite memories are like even just going up and visiting my Omi in her at her property um, near Goulburn area, like waking up super early with her and catching the sunrise, going out, letting the dogs out,
Mm.
and just standing outside, like both of us um, in our like bathrobes, and me with a hot chocolate and her with a coffee, and you can feel the sun coming up. The grass is still got that layer of frost on it.
Mm.
The air is that beautiful, like crisp, cold air, and you're just listening to the wildlife, and you can hear the wind through the trees, and it's just quiet and calm and peaceful. And I think a lot of those places that I grew up where it was rural and there was space, that feels like home.
And that's like you said, it's not a place, it's a feeling, isn't it?
Exactly.
Yeah,
100%.
very good. Yeah.
Mm.
No, I have a similar outlook. Question
Yeah.
9. Three pieces of advice you would give anyone who is not backing themselves that could help them learn to back themselves.
Ooh. Um, this one made me go off on a tangent. I was like, these are really good also journaling prompts, by the way. So I was going off on a tangent. I'm like, okay, well, this is just general advice now. Um, but I think one that I would always be brought up hearing, one that mum always repeated to me that I then would repeat to myself
Mm.
before making a decision or asking someone something or just doing something is if you don't ask, you don't know, you don't get.
Yep. Heard
Like
that.
what's the worst thing that they could say no? What's the worst thing that could happen? You try something and it's not for you. But until you actually do the thing or ask the question and take that extra step, you have no idea.
It's it's along the lines of that, and I always have to think about it before I say it. It's um it's better to ask for forgiveness than to ask for permission.
Oh, in what context?
Well, maybe like, yeah, if you well, no, is it? It's easier to ask for forgiveness than to ask for permission.
Yeah.
Sometimes you just got to do shit, and if it blows up,
Mm,
then it was what it was, or I think, yeah, often we hold back on something because we're afraid of what people say.
100%. Yeah.
What
Um,
what's the second one?
Second one, I think it's I'm looking at my list that I have. If it's something that scares you, it's because you care about it.
Mm.
And I think it's worth doing anyway.
There is a song that a very old friend of mine put me onto, and I cannot for the life of me remember the woman who sings it, but it's called Daydream, and there is a lyric in it, and I say this to the kids all the time with training. Um, if it makes you nervous, then it's probably worth it.
Mm, 100%. It means you actually care enough to be nervous that you're going to mess it up.
I'm going to do my best Joe Rogan impersonation and look
Oh
up
my
the
God.
song for the name. I'm not going to play it, but what is it called? Because yeah, when I got put onto this song, I had never heard it before. Lily Miola.
Oh, I don't think I've heard of her.
No, she won. She won like um, I think she won one of those um bloody American Idol Got Talent
Oh, okay.
shows.
Yeah.
Um, yeah. So yeah, that's on Daydream by Lily Miola. If it makes you nervous, then it's probably worth it.
Need to listen to that one.
Hmm.
Another good song.
Got a third one?
I think so. I think it's along the same kind of lines though. Um, uh, if it's easy, everyone would do it, so just do it anyway.
God, how many times have I heard that?
Yeah, exactly. And these are the things, it's like we've heard this countless times, but until you're actually ready to hear it and ready to take action,
Mm.
it's not going to mean anything to you.
See, that could be quite number four.
It could.
You can hear things so many times, but you're not ready to hear it. It's that age-old thing that,
Exactly.
the old bloody martial arts thing when the student is ready, the teacher will appear, you know.
Yeah.
So it's yeah, that's I think where yeah, I think yeah. And I mean look, even for you, like if one thing when people and I say late in life, like you started martial arts in your 20s,
Mm.
but we have, like some of the morning guys have started martial arts in their late 40s, early 50s. And one of the first things I'll say when they really get bitten by the bug, I'll say, why did I not start this earlier?
Yeah.
And I'll just
100%.
say, well, you weren't ready yet.
No.
And they go, yeah, but my body's not going to be able to do this for much longer. I said, yeah, but your body's going to do it different now because you're this age. I
And
think,
enjoy it while you're still able to.
it's that age old thing. I think, yeah, it's the fact now that it's probably one reason maybe we start these things later in life or like that thing. Like if it's, we understand now that, like, you said from your mum working hard and all the rest of it, you understand, okay, so this is what hard work is.
Mm,
So if I want to get this, I need to work hard, and that's my benchmark of hard work. So when I'm
100%.
studying in a degree and doing 30 plus hours at the same time and sleeping when I can and doing what I call festival eating, eat what you can when you can, because you don't know when you're going to get to eat
100%.
again.
Yep.
Um, then yeah, if it was like I said, if it was easy, everyone would do it. That's why I think,
Exactly.
you know, it's not a not a sledge off anyone, but you would have already seen in your time training, you see a lot of people get to that brown or black belt, and then slowly those people start to dip off because
Yeah.
it gets hard because the pressure's gone from being the pressure's not getting put on them, they have to put the pressure on themselves.
Mm,
That's
exactly.
that's when it gets interesting.
That's the hardest part is holding yourself accountable when no one else is watching.
Work the hardest when no one else is watching.
Exactly.
All right, we've made it. Number 10.
Oh my God.
If you could write a letter to your 15-year-old self now, what would the first paragraph be?
Woo. Um, yeah, this is hard. Trying to think. 15-year-old. I was like 2014. Um, you will find the right people and the right tribe and your own little weirdos that you'll bond with over shared interests. It's going to be okay. Um, there is so much left of life to experience. This is not the be all and end all. Um, and as cheesy as it sounds, it does get better. So stay stubborn and don't give up. Um, I think you have you would have no idea, like no concept of what you'd end up doing.
Mm.
And I think my 15-year-old self would be like astounded that I would even be doing half the shit I do.
I think it's funny. Like there's a lot of similarities when you do these podcast interviews. One similarity, so many people say they either hated school, school wasn't for them, they got politely asked not to come back, or they just there's not a lot of people that say I aced school or I totally love school. So that's one. The second one is to this point, I don't think I've interviewed one person right as to this day that has said, I am exactly where I thought I would be.
Mm,
Everything has gone to plan.
mm,
I am doing exactly what I thought I would be. I can't think I can't think of a person who would be able to say they looked back as a child and at whatever age they were when I interviewed them, go, no, this is exactly where I thought I'd be. I'm doing everything I thought I would do. So I think, yeah, like you said, I mean, and you are young, but there's people out there younger and there's people
mm,
out there older. It's okay. It's okay to, like I said, you had this dream of being a copper. You did this, you did that job and went, I reckon that's me. That's
mm.
totally better to find out now than I've done that job for 20 years, have all that went with it and go, I've wasted 20 years of my life.
Exactly.
No.
I think as someone that is such a planner, but used to be so ridiculously structured growing up. And
Mm,
I think maybe because I moved around a lot, like I kind of craved that structure. But I would plan so far into the future. If you were to tell me that nothing actually goes to plan and that's okay, it would have sent me into like an anxiety spiral.
but we
What do
want
you
it to go to
mean?
plan. Like we don't start something going, I'm going to start this, probably going to fuck it up. But yeah, I'll start this. I mean, and again, you understanding your brain now, not that we want to, and again, I have this, I don't want to call it a pet hate because that sounds mean. People who
Pet peeve?
lean, yeah, there we go. People who lean on their past or their history or whatever. I've done that because I've done this, or I am this. Um,
Hmm.
it's just, you know. I'm not a religious person. We're not going to get into that conversation, but I do believe that sometimes the universe is just going, no, that's not for you, mate. No, we got another idea. You know,
100%.
the universe had a thing saying, where we don't think a cop is for you. So what we're going to do, we're going to rig it. We're going to do this, get you to do this instead, and that will save you maybe years of being in the wrong life that wasn't for you.
Exactly. Like, uh, growing up, mum always would say everything happens for a reason. Like the universe always has a plan. And um, growing up now, I believe it some of the time. But
Well, yeah, and as a can I say as a teenager, you hear someone say that, and you go, fuck off. Like it's just
well,
like,
this plan sucks. Yeah.
yeah, well, oh, whatever, but this is bullshit.
Yeah, exactly. But I don't want to do this. I don't like this plan. Like, but
Anything in that,
really,
like like you were saying before about like cliche or whatever, you just go, oh, shut up. Like,
exactly.
well,
And then
but
you grow
yeah.
up and you're like, yeah, it kind of makes sense.
Yeah, and then you're saying to another young person, everything happens for a reason. Oh, fucking, oh no. But like I again, I say there's a series of things that I always seem to repeat. I call it the high school theory. I mean, again, the friends in high school, but also like the high school reunion. Like you would go to that 10-year reunion and you look around the room if you choose to go at what people are doing now
Mm,
and how many of those people and what they're doing do you look at and go, yep, yep. Well, the last one I went back to was our 25 year. And I mean, I'm still keep in touch with a few people in high school. And yeah, we're back to this 25 year. And more than one said, Reba, you are doing stuff that we never, ever thought you would do. And I said,
mm.
fucking me too, mate.
Yeah,
So
100% is news to
nobody,
me.
nobody is more surprised than me.
Exactly. If you would have told me 10 years ago, oh yeah, you're going to be training martial arts, you will have finished your degree. Oh, also you fight. Like,
Yeah.
no. What? That's mad.
I think yeah, there's been there's been more than one discussion about, you know, maybe in a future podcast me getting interviewed.
I think that's a
Um
great idea.
yeah, yeah, thanks for the tip. I think number 10 is going to be the question if we're still having these questions. Number 10 will be the question that probably gets me the most.
Yeah. This figuring out what it was going to be, because I've done like letters to myself like
Mm.
5 years or 10 years down the track, 2 years or 5 years down the track. And it's always it is always emotional
And I think the thing
because
too is it's you never figured it out.
no,
Like I'm
no,
still
exactly.
still figuring it out. Like I think that's the thing too. I my eldest daughter goes to university. My youngest daughter may not be as interested in going to university. And if it's not something that's on the radar, it's like, okay, so what do you want to do? But the point I'm making there is I look back and I go, if I was to do this again, I think I went to university out of obligation more than
Mm,
anything else. If I was to do it again, I wouldn't go to university until I was probably in my late 20s, even in my 30s, because I wasn't, well, I'm going to say it. I was immature. I wasn't ready for university. I viewed university as like party time. Let's do this. Like,
yeah.
and then you would have had them too, that front row in the lecture theater of all the oldies sitting there taking fucking notes. Like, oh, you fucking nerds. that should have been me, you
That
know.
was me. I was in the front row. I was not into the party
I
scene.
was up in the
I did
back
not.
row, coming in hungover, barefoot with a flannel on, going, "Oh my God, what day is it again?" And the amount of times I walked into the wrong lecture, like
Oh
I'm like,
my
oh
God.
yeah, that was me. It was all
I was
me.
that kid that showed up to lectures 5 minutes early. Like, I was not a partier. I was not into
No,
the uni lifestyle. I was like, I'm here to learn and then go home and work.
no, I would come in a flannel that hadn't been washed for a week, going, okay, this smells. I'll sit up the back.
Deodorant
What,
shower.
what time does a uni bar open?
Oh
Um,
my God.
so yeah, but I think yeah, that letter to ourselves is an interesting letter, and it's sometimes, the only thing that I don't like about this question is sometimes you can maybe it can maybe lead you to be a bit regretful. Like you should have
Yeah,
listened more, you should have done this. Yeah, but you didn't, and you turned out okay.
exactly. You are where you are now because of your experiences you have had to
100%.
lead you up here.
Well, Tash French, you're done.
Wow,
How
that
was that?
flew.
How
That
was
was
that?
awesome. That was
Um,
less scary than I thought it would be.
no, you did well. You did well. I
Thanks.
can see your notepad there, like, you're following it as you go. I will say, and I was going to mention this in the podcast, well, in the interview, but I chose not to because I thought I'd sound like your parent, but I'm going to do it. That door behind you being open for the last hour and a half has done my head in.
I can't close it. There's too much shit in there.
It's just like,
I should have just like angled the chair slightly.
yeah, let's have
Would
a
that have
chat.
been better?
Yeah, let's have a chat about ADHD.
Yeah, right? Focus.
Look, for those who have listened, thank you for listening, and thank you to Tash for, as I said, being our first volunteer podcast interviewee and doing a pretty bloody good job, if I do say so myself. We have many more podcasts on the way to get done. We have many more that have been done, so make sure you listen to all the previous episodes. You could also deep dive back into the COVID conversations that were done in 2020 that are all on YouTube when I had no idea what I was doing and nowhere, like even with the little bit of equipment I had now, I have nothing back then. So they're even better. Um, we're on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts. Have a listen, have a share. Tash French, thank you so much.
Thank you.
And I will no doubt see you face to face in the near future.
I hope so.
See you soon, everyone. Bye.